Have you ever wondered what would happen if we only followed the Quran but ignored the Hadith? Many people today say the Quran is enough. But is that really true? Let's discover why the Hadith is not just important, it's essential for every Muslim's life. The Quran is the word of Allah, the divine revelation sent to guide humanity. But the Hadith is the living explanation of those divine words. The Prophet Muhammad didn't just deliver the Quran, he showed us how to live by it. When Allah says in the Quran, establish the prayer, the Hadith tells us how to pray. When the Quran commands us to give charity, the Hadith explains how much, to whom, and in what manner. Without Hadith, we wouldn't even know how to perform Salah, how to fast, or how to live Islam in our daily life. Hadith brings the Quran to life, turning divine words into real human actions. Allah Himself tells us in the Quran, and whatever the Messenger gives you, take it, and whatever he forbids you, refrain from it. Surah Al-Hashr 59:7. This means that the Prophet was not just a messenger who delivered revelation, he was the living example of that revelation. His words, actions, and teachings are not separate from Islam, they complete it. When we follow the Hadith, we're not following a man's opinion, we're following the guidance that Allah sent through His final Prophet. The Hadith is the practical side of Islam, showing us how to live with mercy, justice, and faith. Sadly, in today's world, especially in the West, some people claim that we only need the Quran and nothing else. They say, we can understand it ourselves. But that's like saying, I'll follow the law, but I don't need a teacher to explain what it means. The Hadith is that teacher. It bridges the words of Allah and the way we act upon them. Without the Hadith, we lose the context of revelation, and Islam becomes just a theory, not a way of life. Every beautiful part of Islamic character, from kindness and honesty to humility and compassion, comes from the Hadith. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "The best among you are those who have the best manners," reported in Bukhari. This one Hadith built an entire civilization of justice and mercy. It inspired Muslims to be kind to neighbors, fair in business, gentle with family, and forgiving toward enemies. From hearts to homes, from mosques to marketplaces, the Hadith shaped the world's first truly moral society. Now imagine a world without the Hadith. A world where we know the words of Allah but not how the Prophet lived them. No example of how he smiled at others, forgave those who wronged him, or showed mercy to the weak. The Hadith keeps the Prophet alive in our hearts. It reminds us not just what Islam teaches, but how to live it every day. So let's not neglect it. Let's study it. Let's live it. And let's pass it on to our children. Because the Quran gives us the message, but the Hadith shows us the way. If this message touched your heart, share it, so that others can also reconnect with the true teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. Together, let's revive the Sunnah and live the beauty of Islam every day.